What's up, Marvel fans? This is Stan Series, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a Easter egg and theories discussion on the Ant-Man and the Wasp. So as a reminder, yesterday I went to see that yesterday, and to bring it again, the film was good. So in this video, as I said, it's all about Easter eggs and theories, from the film. Now, as I brought it up yesterday, I wanted to do these now separate. Now, like do a spoiler review, focus on the story, say what was in the story, and then do these separate, because it would help me more now, because then I could go through the internet, go through the weapons, Easter eggs and all that again, and hear some theories, what's been going on, and then say, this is my own theory, So I thought I started to do that from now on, so it'd be more easier then. So, yeah. So before we do get into this, I'll remind you, it's going to be a spoiler video. So if you don't want to hear anything from the film, really, because I'm going to discuss scenes from the film, well, bits of the film. So if you don't want to hear those, leave now. Or if you're that bothered, then you will enjoy it. But if you do want to see my spoiler review from Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's up. I put it on last night, and you can manage to click it in the end of this video. So if you want to see the review, so okay, let's get into this then. So first of all, let's start with a cameo appearance, really. So we got a cameo appearance from Stan Lee as normal. Now, his role this time around, it was just some guy who was about to enter to a car, but then his car got shrink as part of the car chase scene in the film. And sadly, and it was sad really for seeing these cars turn small. But he had a funny dialogue. So when he came to that dialogue, he said, "Well, the 60s were great, but now I'm paying for it." So that is pretty hilarious. And Stanley, you always are good at your cameos, and I hope you still keep carrying on with cameo appearances, in the film, in future films. And I'm hoping you're gonna get a big cameo in the fourth Avengers. And please, Marvel, I'm hoping he's going to meet the Avengers and tell them, "Hey, I'm the Watcher," or "I've been watching you all for 10 years. Well, 11 years, or whatever, how many years the fourth film takes place, but you get what I mean. So that's that out of the way. So let's jump to Easter eggs. Now, these are going to be like comic book Easter eggs. I'm not going to bring up like Easter eggs, weapons of the other different films, like non-Marvel films. I'm just going to focus on Easter eggs that come from the comics. So let's start with the first one now. Obviously this one, everyone knows about this. It's Goliath. Yeah, we got our first live action appearance of Goliath. But his first appearance is like Hank really, like he's already been Goliath and that's it. Well, he said he worked on the project and he did become big, but he never really said was he actually a crime fighter. So who knows, maybe they could give us more of his background in the future, maybe. I don't know. But also, as well, as I thought I quick this up, I didn't notice that Goliath was actually placed in a Iron Man 2. He was. I mean, as an Easter egg. I mean, I looked this up when I was seeing about this, and I looked and I saw that bit. I was like, when was the Goliath bit ever mentioned in Iron Man 2? And apparently it was the bit when Tony asked Jarvis to look at projects, and Goliath was on there. So, how a funny one that is. So that's pretty cool about that one. And now it is a good callback really to the film, to the last Ant-Man film. So we know that Scott and his mates, after the events of the first film, we know that they don't do crime anymore. And when it comes to this new film, we know that they start a business together, call themselves the X-Con Security kind of business. And it is funny really because it's got the X and con, so it's like saying that the X-Cons, and that is pretty funny you're throwing that into it. And I mean, it was pretty, I really wonder who thought of that name. I bet it's Louis, come on. Louis the funny guy, he had to come up with that name. But I thought, that was pretty a good one, so nice he did something like that. Now, there was actually a comic book Easter egg of the Quantum Realm, there was. Something from the comics. Now, apparently in the film, when there was a scene when the Quantum Realm, apparently there was a glimpse you saw a city in the Quantum Realm. Now, This goes back to one of the early Marvel comics, the Fantastic Four ones. And in one of them, they get shrunk. They enter to the quantum realm. Well, back at that point, they were calling it the microverse. Apparently, they called it that in the comics. And and in that they notice there's a city and there's some other life forms in that realm. So I don't know if that was just throwing for just an Easter egg, or are they throwing it in to say we're gonna get back to us in that in a future Ant-Man film. So I'd be amazed if they touch back on that again. Who knows? Maybe the third film can focus about they find life in the quantum realm. Apparently these insect creatures that live there. Not like the ones we got from the actual film, like those big wormy ones, but like actual intelligent ones. But yeah, that'd be interesting to wait for. Now this to me was like a big Easter egg of, but this was a comic book character Easter egg. So in the film, we learned before it came out, we learned that it was Egghead was going to be in the film, and I was curious, like, what's his role in the film? Like, is he got a cameo role, or is he got like a villain appearance? But he kind of does in a way the villain bit, but he ain't doing a villain crime. He's well, what it is, because in the film you find out that he's got a daughter, and that is Ghost, who is the main protagonist in the film. So that's the one thing here. They changed something from the comics. So I've never heard that Egghead had a daughter in the comics. So they've changed his comic book counterpart. So in the film universe, he had a daughter. He's got a daughter, and that's Ghost. So that's a shocking one. But no, in the film, I heard that he was partners with Hank and Goliath, and he stole technology from them, as I brought up in the spoiler one. So that sounded like it sounded that he was still plays as a villain, like his comic book counterpart, but sadly he didn't live that long, because as I brought in the spoiler review on what happened to him. But you know what, I find this one good really. I find it interesting that they put a connection between Egghead and Ghost. Well, even if Ghost, this is a new version of Ghost, so that's pretty amazing they did that. But as I said, it's sad that Egghead got killed off. I mean, in a way, Marvel ruined an opportunity for this, because you could have saved, or you could have had Egghead placed in the modern day and had him set up for a future Ant-Man film villain, but they didn't, so that's pretty bad on that. But hey, who knows? Crazy things can happen in the Marvel universe, so who knows, it could be brought back, but I doubt it, but we'll be surprised if that happened. So there's that one. Now, another Easter egg, and maybe a clue for this in the future, it's Cassie Lane. Now, we know in the comics that Cassie Lane becomes a hero in the comics. Like from one of her alter egos, because I'll tell you now, she has multiple names. She's got like Ant Girl, she's got Stinger. Well, I heard Stinger's her latest name, and then there's Straight to something like that, and there's another name as well. So she has like 4 common names, but yeah, but I just class her as Stinger really. But anyway, more to the point about this is, because in the film she does bring up about, she wants to be a hero like her dad, so that's already a hint that we could see her be a hero in the future. But also it brings up another Easter egg kind of from the comics. Now, she was actually a part of an Avengers group called the Young Avengers, which is focused on the more younger people, like teenage kind of age kind of group. And in a way, I think I'm like hinting of you're going to have a Young Avengers film. So, wow, I mean, I'll be down for that. I mean, it'll be different to an Avengers film, because all the Avengers films so far and the one we're going to get in the 4th film, they've all been like, you're watching adults, it's like it's all grown up people. But for the Young Avengers, you're going to watch, like, it's going to be like a teenage film, like when you see teenagers being heroes. So that would be cool if they do that. And also as well, we know that there's a older version of Cassie in the new Avengers film, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make her as a hero in that film. But I don't know, I mean, they could do more hints again, but I'm hoping they make her as a hero and then they spin it off from that, getting her the Young Avengers film kind of team up film, so that'll be interesting. quick one to bring up here, we had the character from the comics, Jimmy Woo. So that's a comic book Easter egg, you know, well, kind of like I don't know if you, I think he classes as Easter egg, like for Goliath. So, well, difference from the comic book and the movie one is, comic book, he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, well, he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's part of a group called the Agents of Atoms, hang on, what's my name, ATLAS, so he's a part of a group like that. Well, in the film, we know that he's an FBI person, but they don't really bring up about, was he a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and then went to FBI, but would have been interesting, they could have just followed that in so we can know, oh, he is his comic book counterpart, but now he's just an FBI person, but I don't know, if they ever bring him back, in, you know, then they could follow that in, but I don't know, we'll just have to wait to see really on that one. Any other comic book Easter eggs? Oh, well, I'll fold this one in just for a laugh. So, and funny Easter egg they put in was a Hot Wheels kind of like a throw into it. Now, in the film, we know that Hank Pym had this kind of like a circle tray, and in there you had like mini vehicles, all vehicles they've been using. Because in the new film, they managed to get their vehicles, they could use it to turn small and to big. Well, not giant size, but to normal car size. So that was pretty cool. They add into the film. Now, it's funny as well, because when you look at him, you're like, hey, it's kind of like he's got a set of Hot Wheels, and that is pretty cool. And in a way, Louis, when he picks one of them later in the film, I think the design I can see of this car is like a Hot Wheels kind of figure you would get. So that's good they threw that in as well. So I thought I'd throw that in for a laugh, and that's pretty amazing. So I think that's all the Easter eggs I want to bring up. Yeah. Now you could comment me down below if there's some other Easter eggs I missed from the like comic book Easter eggs I'm gonna miss, but sorts of I have, but comment down in the description below so I can know if I did miss some. So let's get into a theory discussion really. So before we get to the cutscene ones and the future for a character, well, let's talk about one of the characters actually. It's Sonny, one of the antagonists in the film. So in the film, his plan was he wanted to get the Pym building, you know, for stealing technology from him. Now, in the film, it seems like he's getting the building, but in the film you find out that he's meeting up with someone. You find out that he's actually working for someone. So you try to think yourself in the head, you're going like, who's the person wants the building? And it doesn't tell you who it is, so that still gives you a mystery. But when I was thinking about this, I said to myself, who would want a building like that? So, and I said to myself, what if it's Norman Osborn? I mean, because I've got to think, it's got to be another business person who wants the building. I mean, Norman Osborn fits the bill. I mean, I can't really think of other, main villains I could think of. I mean, it might not be like a business person. It could be like, who knows? What if it's the Tinkerer? I mean, don't forget the Tinkerer works with technology, so could it be Tinkerer? Could it be maybe Vulture? But I don't know, because Vulture's in jail. Could it be, well, let's say them for now. Could it be one of those? But for the Norman Osborn one, that could be a possibility, because I'm hoping that in the future we're going to have Norman Osborn in the MCU, because I mean, I know Marvel said that they don't want to retrace villains from the other Spider-Man films, but it would be good if they brought Norman Osborn in it, you know. But put him in a different way, don't make him start off as a Spider-Man villain, making him a baddie, but don't make him as the Green Goblin yet. That's what I always believe they have to put him in, but I don't know. But it is going to be interesting, if they ever bring Sonny back, I hope they could do more clues or a reveal, who is he working for. That would be pretty cool. So let's get to another discussion. Excuse me. And it's part of, the end of the film and the credit scene, really. Well, credit scenes. So, in the film, after when Janice comes back, We know that in the quantum realm, she managed to get an ability in the quantum realm. Like, it's like when she touches your face, she could do something to you. She could, like, do stuff like, if you was the first time in the quantum realm, she could make your head, thinking straight, like she did with Hank. But when she got back, she managed to fist Ghost, because in the film, because Ghost was dying really from being affected by the quantum realm, That's how she was Ghost in the film, because the quantum realm was making her going through, making her invisible, going through stuff. They class it as like she was like going through parallel worlds, something like that. But Wasp, our first Wasp, managed to fist her. But then when they came to the credit scene, when they sent Scott into the quantum realm to collect some quantum energy, Scott brought up about like, okay, this is for our new friend Ghost. Now it got me some talks about this. I said to myself, A, Ghost is alive, the female Ghost, and B, really, I'm saying to myself, is it possible we could see her again? Because I thought after Jan helped her, I thought it'd be like, your powers are gone, you won't be Ghost anymore. But it sounds like that she's still got a Ghost ability. So it really brought me up saying about, could we see her again and being a villain again? I mean, yeah, maybe after the film she might have changed her ways and might want to be a good person, but I don't know, maybe she might not. She might stick as a villain still. So, as I said, is it possible we could get her down the world again as a villain again? But maybe, I'll say like a second type of villain, really. Maybe like, not as the main villain, but like a second villain. So, that could be something like that, because we've had her as the main villain, but we could place her as like a second villain for whatever film. But then I brought up another thing. If they didn't want to use the female Ghost again, I said, what if you bring in the male comic book Ghost? I mean, that would be pretty good then. So then you're carrying on with the Ghost thing, but you're giving it to the actual person who was the Ghost in the comics. And I'll be down with that, really, because I'll be really down they could do that. And then also you got to think of what kind of backstory are they going to give him? Like, is he going to have the same origin backstory or not? Well, you can go do both with it. You can keep his backstory, but maybe you could change off what made him to be the Ghost. Because so for example, like in the comics, in the comics, we know that Ghost, the male Ghost, worked for Tony Stark. Then he got fired from the business, and then he wanted to get revenge on Tony with it. So he created technology called the Ghost Tech to make him go through wars and be a ghost. Now the one bit that I thought they could change is it's like, what gives him the idea to be like that? You could say like maybe you could say he was walking down the street one day and he saw the events, what was going on in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he saw how the Ghost was doing all that visibility and all that stuff, and it could give like Ghost the idea of saying, I could create tech like that and be like her. So that's a one way you can bring the male character version into that. Well, you could do something like that for the live action universe, but I don't know. I mean, I don't work at Marvel. I don't know if they discuss or something like this, but would be interested to see what they do about that. So there's that bit. Now let's get about the credit scenes. So the first credit scene was a shocker, and it was an Avengers 3 and 4 tie-in to the a connection really. So we know that in the end, when Scott was about to get back to the back to normal size and out of the quantum realm, we noticed that on the other side, he doesn't hear nothing from Jan, Hope, and Hank. And then we find out that they got turned to ashes, just like the heroes did in the Avengers 3 film. Well, some of them. So with that, Scott is actually stuck in the quantum realm, and you have to think about it now. You'll be like, hang on, if he's stuck in there now, how does he get out and team up with the Avengers of the fourth film? Well, it looks like it gave you clues really for how he could get out, because in the when he came to the film, before he went into the quantum realm in that cutscene, Janice brought up as well, watch out for some time vortex, because if you enter in that, you could end up somewhere in the time. So in my mind, I'm like, is he going to use that to get out of the quantum realm And luckily, this one sent him to the present day. I mean, because I've been hearing about Avengers 4 will have a big jump gap, like 5 or something like years like that. So could he go down like that? Like he jumps a couple of years into the future, like after Infinity War, and he's all confused and he'll be like, what's happening here? Where's people and everything? And then that could explain as well, like why there's that old Cassie in the film. So they could explain why they cast a older version of Cassie. So that could go for that. And I think that would be another interest about that as well, because we know in the 4th film, we know that there's going to be some time travel involved. That's what we know. We know in the Avengers 4, they're going to be traveling in time. And maybe that's a way how they could travel in time. It's going through these time vortex. And that could actually work out. But then in my mind, I'm like, because it doesn't really explain about the time vortex. Like, can you control the time vortex so you could say, oh, I want to jump to that area? But it doesn't sound like it works like that. So I said to myself, like, how can they control it so they can program it to send them to this time? Well, don't forget what I brought up about Scott got some quantum energy. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because we know from the set photos in the 4th film, we know when we see Scott, we see Scott, Tony Stark, and Cap, we see them wearing these weird devices on their hands. And people are saying that, oh, that's a device to travel in time. Well, what if it's that, and it's also filled with quantum energy? So maybe they create these devices, put quantum energy into each of those things, and they use that to control the time vortexes. So they in a way, they got like their own time machine kind of device. So I think that's how they can go through time. I mean, yeah, you've got yourself a time machine, but you're using the quantum realm and doing it. So that will be interesting on that one. So yeah, I mean, and also it would be a good thing to use against Thanos then, you know, because I'm hoping that's what the 4th film's about. Like, so they go back in time, they'll get the stones early in the time eras, make sure that Thanos doesn't get them, you know, and like that really. But as we still ain't still got the plot yet, but it's obvious that's got to be the plot. So yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts about that one really, and even about using the quantum realm for the for the Avengers 4, the time travel. But but if you got your own theories of the ones I brought up, even for the next Avengers film, put them down in the description. Like, do you think that's what could happen for the Avengers 4? Do you think that's how they'll time travel? And also give your own theories, like who is Sonny working for? Like, who is he going to give the building to? Give your own thoughts on that as well. So that's what we got to discuss in this video. So if you want to keep up to date with me Marvel news, film and shows update, I will leave the link on my Facebook Marvel page down in the description below. Also leave your comments on the, as I say, like, give me some, you can tell me if there was some Easter eggs I missed out, like comic book Easter eggs, all film ones, like MCU film ones. And also, as I said, give your own theories about the ones I discussed about, and I would love to have a discussion about those with you. Also, give it a thumbs up. Share this out to your friends, so if they do enjoy this kind of video and how I do my info on the Marvel or Transformers, then they could subscribe and, keep up to date with all the videos. And if you're new to this channel, this is what I do. I do Marvel and Transformers Cinematic Universe news. I just do trailers, TV spots, clips, and spoiler reviews. With the trailers, TV spots, and clips, I do the non-spoilery ones. TV spots and clips, I'm trying to do just like one of them, but it hasn't happened yet, and I am trying to do one, but yeah, it's not like a promise that I will, but don't get your hopes up on that. But I'm hoping I can for Captain Marvel. I'm hoping. And even Bumblebee. For opening that up. And then the spoiler reviews, I'll do the film side of the both. So, and the last but not least, so if you do want to jump to that spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp, you can click here. My channel, as I said, subscribe if you want to keep up to date with my videos. And with it, click the bell button so you can be notified when my new videos are up and you can keep up to date. And there you can jump to my last Transformers video. So that's it really, guys. So I hope this first video for Easter eggs and theories, I hope this has gone well, and I'm looking forward to doing more of these again, as I said, for the Marvel films, and even I'll be doing that for the Bumblebee one as well. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Peace.